It's time to talk about drags, but before we get into it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and also hit that bell icon so you don't miss any content. And with that, hey, drag time. So, what is a drag? If you've seen my flam video, the flam has a grace note right before the big note, right before it. Well, the drag has two grace notes right before the big note. How do we get there? So, you have your big note in your right hand. If you're left-handed, do the opposite. You have your grace notes, remember, hand slightly angled down, and it's going to be two notes into this one. And the other way, grace note, slightly angled down, two notes into the big note. What can be very hard for younger students here is getting those two grace notes to perform as just two grace notes. A lot of younger students and a lot of teachers will have their students do this. Where they do kind of the buzz into the bigger note. And in a lot of times, in a lot of younger music, that's okay. But I think that you need to start stressing the double as soon as possible. Now, if you've seen my double stroke roll video, you'll remember that I was teaching you to have this legato stroke where you had this down and then pull with your fingers. That's basically what we're doing, except we're doing it here. Hopefully you can hear that. Obviously, when it's here, your hands are much more open to make this over-exaggerated technique work, as opposed to once you start getting that, start going back and forth slowly, concentrating on what you're doing. Actually, I would tell you maybe to go one direction right now. Whatever hand is your dominant, start there. And let's do a whole lot of just rights. That way you can concentrate on what the left hand is doing to get to the right. Because let's be honest, the big note is nothing more than a downstroke. That's it. That's the big note. Don't really have to think too much about that, okay? So that way you can concentrate. So let's go right-handed drag. And the goal is always just two. And if it starts to get crushed like this, back up, like I've said in a couple other videos, slow down and get back to two. Then, when you're comfortable with your dominant hand, switch to your non-dominant hand, for me, which is my left, and now you can concentrate on just your right. And remember, you want to keep that right where your wrist is slightly angled down. It should never come out of this position. And again, it's just a very small bounce into a grab. See if you can see my hand here. Hopefully you can see what's going on in this area. Okay. alternated. Notice I'm trying to keep my hands angled down even faster. Keep that grace note slightly angled down to the head. And there you have the drag.